and we are off to the left, so front line left. Let's see. Just kidding. Alright. See how that looks. There we go. Push Z to start. Right? And look, it still says push Z to start. How cool is that? It just stays on the screen the whole time. Right? Obviously, we don't want that to happen. So, how are we going to deal with that? The answer is we're going to use logic and a Boolean, right? So we'll say is title screen, right? We'll make that false. If you can spell false. Alright. Now that we've created this property is title screen, we set it to false, we will change this to true if it leaves the title screen. And how are we going to know if this happens, right? The answer is our title screen entity, right here. We already are looking for jump to load the next level. So before we load the next level, let's just make sure that is title screen gets set to true. And we'll change it. And we're going to work on our spelling a lot. Right? So we have is title screen. This is our title screen entity that I've made. Right? And we're going to set it, flip it to true from false. And then down here, we'll just always check if this dot is title screen is equal to false. I've done this all backwards. Oh well. I'll fix it here in a moment. I'm going to fix everything I've done. So just imagine everything I've said, reverse it, right? If this title screen is equal to true, we're going to make the default value true. And then we're going to flip this to false. It really doesn't matter one way or the other, but I think from an outsider's perspective, what I was writing doesn't make any sense to them. Right. So initializes is being a true value. And if it's true, it'll write that on the screen. If we hit Z on our title screen entity, it'll change it to false, which will then stop, in theory, writing it on the screen. So let's test this out. Welcome. And now it's gone. Look at that. So it's there on the screen now, right here. Push Z to start. When we hit Z, we change that Boolean, and now it no longer validates as being a true statement, which means we'll no longer be outputting that to the screen for the user. So, from a non-programmer, if you know somebody that doesn't write code, if you're watching this later, this is a very basic introduction to logic in programming. The Boolean value, which is these true/false. A Boolean is either true or false. So, I'm sure I'll probably get corrected somewhere, and somebody will find something that makes that an invalid statement. But whatever. For argument's sake, for my sake, Booleans are true or false. And we're starting out. We're saying, hey, when the game loads, we're going to make this variable, we're going to call it title screen, we're going to make it true. True, 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 right? And so in the draw function, it's saying, hey, if that dude's true, I'm going to tell a user, hey, push Z to start, push Z to start, push Z to start, every frame, right? It's in the draw, so 60 frames a second. So for 60 times a second. Push Z to start, push Z to start, it's writing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, right? Boom, 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 boom. The second they hit Z on the keyboard, it's going to go, whoa, he hit Z. Load this other level and make that Boolean true, or false. Make that Boolean false, right? And so now in that draw phase, which is still going on 60 frames a second, it's still checking it. It's saying, hey, no, don't draw it, don't draw it, don't draw it, don't draw it, don't draw it. It's because it's no longer true. And that's what's going on. In a conceptual standpoint or whatever, like that's, hit the desk, sorry. That's what's going on there. So, yeah. Cool, huh? Really, really cool. Well, really geeky. But a lot of stuff happens all based off of these values and talking back and forth and flipping back and forth. And a lot of optimization fails during all this too. So, yep. That's that. So now we have, right, let's just recap. We have a game. We have a framework loaded. We're hosting it, right? We've got a title screen, we've got user input, we've got a player, we've got collision, right? We've got a level background map and a collision layer. We have a shoot key that doesn't do anything right now and a jump key, and we have some physics going on. Not like crazy physics or anything, but you know, jumping and friction and gravity, and we're still sliding a little bit. It's not really. It'd be good if I was like skateboarding, and it feels like I'm a skateboarder right now. We'll make it a science fiction skateboarding.